buy it. Just to have everybody come over or even play online against you guys. That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting if they released. Now, what if it was like a port plus combination of this 3DS version that does really well? That 3DS version sold super well, big following, big competitive following, blah, blah, blah. What if they came out with like the Super Smash Ultimate Switch version, which is like, you know, the best of the last two versions of Switch, both in, because you can almost see them doing that because of the handheld feeling of the Switch. So like everything about the handheld 3DS version, you know, you could get that, but then plus the, you know, depth of the Wii U version. Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
I think another thing too is as long as you can use GameCube controllers too. That's another thing that
the competitive scene really wants that too. Yeah. So I think
so. Hopefully it comes with that, and definitely if Animal Crossing is cool, I'll probably have to buy it anyways.
if they had a Pikmin 4, like an old school Pikmin 4, that would also make me poop my pants. Buddy, what would you say? What would make you poop your pants?
I don't think it'll be E3 though. For me, I think the interesting thing, if they did a Mario Party, that was like the best.
Oh my god!
Oh, there we go.
Fuck yeah!
No. They bring it back to the regular board.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool. Yeah, we all are.
All the best mini games. I think that would.
You hated that game?
I hated.
You loved the original too. Like everybody, you loved the original.
Wasn't there a Wii U game that's sort of like that?
It sucked. It wasn't as fun.
Yeah,
it was kind of hard. I remember we were playing at my buddy's house once, and it's pretty hard. Yeah, pretty difficult.
That's a good call, bud. My blow my mind, blow my socks off, poop my pants moment.
It's cool to poop your pants.
If pooping your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Shout out to Billy Madison. Okay, my definite like poop my pants moment for Nintendo would be nice radio sound effect. Would be if they announced a new Zelda game. Now, hear me out. I'm not talking about like something as intricate as Breath of the Wild. I'm talking about a top-down, old-school style, like 8-bit Zelda game for Switch that's like meant to be played on handheld, but would be fine on the TV. And it's like, and I brought this up earlier, I think, for something, but it's kind of like Shovel Knight, where it's like this old-school experience, but they capitalize off their biggest. They have a track record for doing this, by the way, where they released Wind Waker, I think, and then they released that one with like the 3 different Links that were different colors or whatever with the 3 different hats. Like something that is like a supplementary, not like mainline Zelda game, but this offshoot like Switch experience for Zelda that could even be co-op. Something that's like totally different and out of left field that we definitely don't expect. Now that's so not Nintendo. What if they won't do that? But I think that would be really
What if it started off like from like 8-bit, and then when you got into a fighting scene, it went down into like more of like the Breath of the Wild.
That'd be sweet,
view.
like kind of Final Fantasy kind of style. Yeah. So that would be my poop my pants moment, and that's our Nintendo predictions for E3 2017. Make sure to listen to our show after E3. Quick plug too: we will be releasing our E3 live reactions. We are going to be together on that Sunday. I think we decided, right, guys, to watch the press conferences.
What day is it?
Give a reaction. Sunday the 11th. Sunday the 11th is Microsoft, Sony. I think. Do you know
Nintendo's is like noon on Monday or Tuesday?
Oh,
yeah. So we'll probably have to get together maybe on Monday or something to talk about Nintendo's, or just do that on our next show. But for Sony and Microsoft, the big conferences, the big game releases, we will be giving our live reactions and probably releasing them on Monday. So make sure to tune in and check out that. Moving on to Sony and Microsoft, let's jump over to the big green box and talk a little bit about Xbox and what we think could come from Xbox at E3 this year. What are some of the things, Wyatt, I'll start with you, that you think we could see from Microsoft's press conference on Sunday the 11th?
Honestly, I don't think Xbox is going to have an amazing aspect from a game perspective, but they're going to focus all on Scorpio or a lot on it. They're going to come out and just tell you about it, show you. They might have a fake one. You know, like,
do you think they're going to have like a live demo of anything?
Yeah,
we're going to see the hardware, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to really dig into the hardware and the software, and maybe the menu screen, that kind of stuff.
Do you think they're going to release a new controller too?
It might, but it'll be the same, just like PlayStation. There, it might look slightly different, but for the most part, it's going to be the same thing. But I think Project Scorpio is going to be their biggest thing. I think they're also probably going to talk about things, but other games. But they're mostly those games are going to be what do you call it when they're on multiple consoles?
Just
Cross
cross
Yeah,
platform.
like so, like Red Dead Redemption. That's on multiple ones, right? Or is that just Xbox?
No, it's multiple.
Multiple.
So I think like Red Dead Redemption. I don't know. I'm probably 30% chance they'll do a Halo trailer and gameplay. Maybe a 50% chance they'll do a trailer or teaser.
That would be sick.
I think they'll do a
Scorpio.
teaser.
Please,
Yeah,
God.
please.
I think they'll do like and then maybe like some kind of a Batman game.
Yeah, Batman Insurgency. They've been talking about it.
Yeah, I think the most of the stuff will
Yeah.
be cross-platform. But
Never.
like,
You haven't heard about that? Batman Arkham Insurgency.
What does that mean?
It's a new game that's coming out.
Talk to me about it.
I don't know any more
All
about
right,
it.
we're gonna get there. Oh, okay.
But other than that-
game, motherfucker.
But it is a
maybe,
game.
They'll probably do an Assassin's Creed thing, but I think it's just going to be all about the Scorpio. Will they reveal the name? I don't know. When they had Xbox 360 and they did they do an E3? I don't know if they told the name or.
Yeah, I'll jump in if you don't mind. I think we're gonna hear the name, we're gonna see the console, we're gonna get the price, we're gonna get the release date. It will focus totally on the Scorpio, Project Scorpio. Again, for those of you listening who might not know what the Scorpio is, this is the new Xbox console,
high-end
the
console.
high-end Xbox console. It's not necessarily the next generation. It's just an iteration on the current console that is fully 4K capable. It's probably going to be VR capable. My prediction for the Scorpio specifically is that we're going to see an Oculus Rift announcement. Right? I think we're going to see they're going to announce that the Oculus is compatible with the Xbox Scorpio. The Oculus has gone a long way right now. Actually, they just announced, and here's one of the biggest reasons I believe this is going to happen. They just announced that the Oculus is now going to start coming with Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh.
That's going to be a pack-in game. If you buy an Oculus, you get Bridge Crew.
That's cool.
And we know that Star Trek Bridge Crew is optimized for console VR because it's coming out for PlayStation VR.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe that if a console caliber VR game is now being packed in with Oculus, I think the stars are starting to align, and we're going to see Scorpio announced and then say that Oculus is available for Scorpio.
And they'll probably show some like rendered and maybe not, like if they don't show any game, but they might show some rendered gameplay footage, but like not actual gameplay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some
yeah.
rendered,
Maybe
and
screenshots
some
too, like
screenshots
before,
and
after.
some environments of what it can do. Some gameplays of just examples of somebody roaming through a jungle and what that would look like.
You know what's always so difficult is like watching those press conferences though, and they're like, "And this is 4K," and you're like, "Well, I'm not watching on a 4K screen, so I
have no
don't.
idea.
I can't.
Not
It looks the
there.
exact same to me."
Well,
Yeah.
I've heard of a specific release for Xbox. It's called State of Decay, and it's a zombie game.
Zombie game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
so
awesome.
to compete basically against
But is
Days
it-
Gone for
I think
PS4.
That is, but I'm pretty sure that that is. I think State of Decay is coming out for Steam as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying just for.
But
console
I mean
right now.
that will be there. Other than that, like I just think the Scorpio. The only one that would be amazing would be they'll do Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Stuff for Destiny 2. I think. But I think
It's
it'd be
traditionally
Scorpio.
been, even though it's for both consoles,
PlayStation holds rights to it.
PlayStation really has the rights to Destiny. Like they
They
bundle,
have a lot of the rights
they
to a lot of
bundle the
games right now.
PlayStation version with it. Yeah, a lot of them are hedging their bets with PlayStation, which
Yeah.
you can't argue. So here's my biggest thing about Xbox for E3 this year. Like they've got catch up to do. They're falling behind in this console war. PlayStation is kicking their ass, and I think they need to do two things with E3 this year. They need to show that they're still there for their gamers. They're going to have good exclusive games that are just for Xbox to make people buy Xboxes again. And they need to show why you need to care about the Xbox Scorpio. Why should the average gamer give a shit about 4K gaming? It needs to come with something different and blow your fucking socks off.
I think
with
it's
VR and
the
something
Oculus.
sweet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also don't think so. You are. I think you're correct that. First of all, they're not being beaten by Nintendo. I don't think. I think Nintendo right now is the hype and it's starting to pick up, but they're not necessarily being beaten by Nintendo. And yes, Sony is beating it, and necessarily like more people have a PlayStation than an Xbox. But Xbox is not doing bad. You know what I mean? So it's not doing bad.
Depends on where you are.
Oh
But he's
shit!
got some stats.
I'm looking at this graph from total lifetime sales in Japan. It looks like it goes to like end of 2016. Wii U ended up at about 3.25 million. PlayStation 4 ended up at about 4.25 250,000 lifetime sales. Xbox barely even registers on the thing. They're maybe like.
Oh, you're
50,000.
saying in Japan.
Japan.
Oh,
they're
cool. Oh, yeah, that
traditionally
doesn't
terrible.
surprise me. I bet did they probably beat PlayStation too?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, PlayStation.
Well, they beat Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation.
Well, see, but I'm just saying though, like none of the three companies are necessarily doing bad. They're getting like Sony's beating, but that's like Xbox isn't struggling as a company, or Xbox is not struggling to sell. They're selling. They're just not getting. They're not just beating.
They just
Sony.
don't. They don't have a huge hype train right now.
I don't think they're
Besides
doing a great
Scorpio.
job of community building. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and plus, it's also Microsoft. Like, where the fuck's Microsoft? They
You know,
rule
I
the
always-
world.
I always really appreciate the Microsoft press conferences for how like boilerplate they are, though. Too. So as a guy comes out, it's like, at Xbox, we've been doing a lot to ensure that indie developers have the tools they need to create lasting, meaningful experiences on our console. Last year alone, we had over 14 new Xbox indie titles released exclusively on Xbox. This year, we're planning to have 24. That's double the amount of Xbox indie titles. And we think you're really going to like them. Let's hear from a few of those game developers now. And it's like some crazy dude with like glasses, and he's like, in Super Meat Fuck, you play like a blah, 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 blah. It's like this like insane... Like they will do that vignette. They will do that thing.
What really killed Xbox One though was the E3 conference, because remember when they
Yeah,
announced
overpromised
Xbox One,
and- yeah.
what they did was they talked about the how you couldn't share games and you download that whole confusing bullshit that they
Yeah.
even reneged on. They went away from it because how much people hated the idea.
Yeah.
That killed their sales.
from the get go.
From the get-go, before it was even released, everybody was like, wait, you're going to do what? Like, I can't even let my buddy borrow it. They have to do this and they have to do that. You're kidding me, right? And everybody panicked, and rightfully so, and they shot themselves in the foot. Now, they did say, okay, it's not going to be that way, but still, that scared them. And a lot of people who were either on the fence or maybe even Xbox lovers or on the fence and thinking about, like, getting both, why wouldn't you go to PlayStation at that point? They literally, their E3 performance when that release destroyed them.
Yeah.
So I really, really hope Xbox focuses on the games. We're all excited to see what the Scorpio can do. I know I'm going to get a Scorpio day one. I'm a huge Xbox fan. I know I'm going to get it. You know, I have every system that comes out, so like it's inevitably going to happen. But I think for Xbox's sake, I really hope they focus on the games. I hope now when they release that Scorpio and they show the Scorpio, they're going to have some pretty sweet titles to show on that thing to give you a reason to buy it.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
Red
that's
Dead,
where-
Assassin's Creed.
But those are
and-
third parties. They've got to have a first party title. And what do you think it's
Assassin's
going to
Creed's
be?
for
I think it's
PlayStation?
gonna be
Forza 7. I can guarantee you're going to see some car porn.
No, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard
Say
about
car
that too.
porn?
car
Yeah.
porn.
Car porn.
Like,
More
they
car
always,
games.
They always show the fucking like sexy Ferrari or
Maybe that's
something.
what.
in
Maybe that's
4K.
for the Scorpio. Maybe that's what they're going to show as like a rendered version.
Because
you
that's
know?
like their tech
that
demo.
makes
Yeah,
the
maybe.
graphics look
Yeah.
the best. If
Yeah.
you want to show off your graphics, do a card game.
car game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll lock it in as one of my predictions for Xbox. We're going to see Forza 7 running on the Xbox Scorpio.
Like rendered or like actually live.
Live. I think
Live.
we'll see a game
Okay.
demo of Forza 7 because I'm sure it's ready to go. You
Yeah.
know, Forza Horizon 3 is probably my favorite racing game that I've ever played. It's fantastic.
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. But now, what else are we going to see on Scorpio? Though they got to have another killer app.
They have to start
I
with
don't think
Y.
it's going to be Halo 6. I don't think we're going to see Halo.
Oh
6.
no! On Scorpio, no. The Halo 6 will be an Xbox One game, and I'm pretty sure. I would be surprised, or both, maybe.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think Halo 6, especially with the performance of Halo 5, while everybody will love it, and I'm super pumped, and that would be like a poop my pants kind of moment for me, just because I love it so much. Thank you, Bleff. But
Poop your pants.
But at the same time, like honestly, like I don't play Xbox as much as I used to, and you're right. I really, besides Spectre, looking it up, all the game predictions and all the stuff I looked up were all Nintendo, like Mario Odyssey, all cross console stuff, and I have. Ideas for PlayStation, which we're going to talk about later, which I'm pretty sure you guys have the same ideas for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Just because like those games are going to be, they're going to have the awe-inspiring games, and I don't know what Xbox is going to.
Last year's PlayStation conference was game. They killed it. They
Which
did
is
such
honestly,
a great job.
even if you have a new console like the Scorpio come out, I'm not saying like if they like they did for Xbox One, you cannot make that your main thing. You can't. I mean, you can't just do that.
I think they can.